Hm. Wo ist denn jetzt der Tatort? Wir müssen den ja jetzt eigentlich auf der Karte haben. Ah, da.
The crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
Hey, mostly.
Huh? Knight, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh?
Was kommt jetzt? Die Leiche.
It's another one, as you can see. Same M.O. and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Direkt an der
they're
Straße.
frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that?
Okay. Warum dieser überraschte Blick?
Good day, Miss Getty.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Molly Getty. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Man, nobody
Das ist
ever
aber weit
sees or
hergerissen.
hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck in the water moccasins, though. I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the case some more.
Thanks.
Ja, ich weiß, ich wiederhole mich, aber ich kann es nicht oft genug sagen. Diese ganze Stimmung, die Optik, die Musik, die Sprecher, das ist alles so schön an dem Spiel. Es macht richtig Spaß. So, dann untersuchen wir mal hier.
Out down the spot. Will these pristine banks ne'er be cleaned again?
Ja, das ist eine gute Frage. Kann ich irgendwas mit dem Blut? Bestimmt nicht.
Gabriel
Das-
does not particularly want to mess with the bloody sand.
Was ist hier mit diesen komischen Zeichen?
There seems to be a pattern to the lines in the sand, but if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clearly defined.
Kann ich mir das vielleicht irgendwie fotografieren, abzeichnen? Hiermit vielleicht?
Let me try to get this down.
Ja, nice. So, schauen. Ach, da ist es schon. Okay.
Those two objects
Nee, ich wollte es mal anschauen.
The partial pattern from the crime scenes intrigues Gabriel. What? The partial...
Nee. Okay. Ist hier sonst noch
Patches of grass
irgendwas?
have managed to survive life on the banks of Lake Pontchartrain. Patches of grass have managed to survive life on the banks of Lake Pontchartrain.
Da ist doch auch noch was, oder?
The grass has a matted appearance there.
Ja.
The grass...
Aber kann ich das nicht näher warte mal. Näher untersuchen mit der Lupe vielleicht?
There are marks in the grass, as though some heavy wire object had been set there.
Hm?
Gabriel
das?
is already mad.
Ja. Was ist dieses komische Ding hier?
Something small and iridescent is barely visible among the indentations. It looks like a scale of some sort.
Also Schlangen, ja. Kann ich mir das mitnehmen?
The scale looks a little delicate to pick up by hand.
Mit bloßer Hand. Okay, ja gut. Pinzette.
Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
Aber woher weißt du, dass es von einer Schlange ist? Ich meine, es könnte ja alles Mögliche sein.
Gabriel is carrying a scale he found near the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain.
Das ist nicht sehr hilfreich.
The
Hier
trees
an
on the
den Baum.
banks of the lake are mostly oak and elm, very old.
Ist hier vielleicht noch was?
Gabriel is on the sand and clay shore of Lake Pontchartrain, at the site where some poor bastard got to see who the voodoo murderers really are. The site is now deserted.
Ich bin ja eigentlich noch der Hoffnung, dass ich hier irgendwo Spuren oder irgendwas vielleicht noch finde. Das wäre sehr interessant.
Lake Pontchartrain is impressive. It measures 24 miles across and stretches as far as the eye can see. But you wouldn't want to swim in it.
Warum nicht?
Gabriel is on the sand and clay shore of Lake Pontchartrain. At the
Das kennen wir
site
doch
is
schon.
now the Lake Pontchartrain is impressive, but you wouldn't
Auch. Kann ich hier über den Blut
Out.
noch was machen?
out damn the spot. Will these pristine banks ne'er be cleaned again?
Was ist hier?
Gabriel is on the
Okay,
site.
das ist einfach nichts.
The
Ja.
banks of Lake Pontchartrain are rich with clay deposits.
Aha. Kann ich Tonerde?
Is that clay? Yuck.
Ja, es kommt wohl auf einen guten Ton drauf an. Und was ist hier? Da ist,
Gabriel is on the
nein, das
site.
ist immer noch dasselbe. Ja, ich glaube, dann sind wir hier durch. Also ich sehe nicht mehr, wo hier noch was sein soll. Ja, dann gehen wir mal weiter. So, wo können wir denn nochmal hin? Oma ist durch, würde ich sagen. Macht keinen Sinn. Ja, ich würde sagen, einfach mal ein bisschen umschauen. Was ist denn hier? Die müssten doch mit... Ach ja, stimmt. Grace hatte die ja auch noch erwähnt, wegen der Voodoo-Untersuchung, die sie gemacht hat. Dieser Dixieland Drugstore. Da war ja noch was.
Hi.
Hi.
The mask appears to be made from a real crocodile head.
Oh, ist
It's
vielleicht
a
auch ein echtes.
mannequin wearing a crocodile mask. The shelf holds containers of dried items, flowers, grass, black cat bones.
Woher will man denn wissen, dass die Knochen wirklich von schwarzen Katzen
In
sind?
this case are super concentrated fixing oils and packages of pins.
Fixieröle und Nadeln. Okay.
A
Voodoo-Puppen?
variety of cloth dolls are arranged above the shelf, each impaled with a single silver pin. Herbal oils for love, luck, power, and success.
Mhm.
The glass jars contain a number of things Gabriel can't identify.
And wouldn't want to.
Also manchmal klingt die Sprecherin ein bisschen anders.
Root bags, curio boxes, and magic candles, sold as curios only. We cannot guarantee results. The signs say, Special Saint Jean Eve, Lagnappe, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Okay.
The dust on those boxes is older than Gabriel. Small bags made of felt and flannel hang from the ceiling.
Those are gris-gris. They're full of magic. No guarantees, though, you know.
Natürlich ohne Garantie. Ja, dann...
The Dixieland drugstore is crammed from top to bottom with strange merchandise, some or all of which seems to be related to the practice of voodoo.
Ah, ja, macht ja auch Sinn, ne? Ist ja auch ein Voodoo-Laden. Ist ja nur sinnvoll.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want, I'll answer what I want.
Das ist fair. Was haben wir denn bei dir hier? Voodoo.
Can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Cabri's Sancour.
What did
Bitte?
you say?
Nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Ja, das wollte ich dir auch nicht unterstellen.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Monsieur, that has nothing to do with my shop.
Ja, ist ja gut. Kannst ja trotzdem was
What
wissen.
can you tell me about New Orleans?
I've lived here all my life, me.
Ja, und das...
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I'm a busy man, monsieur. I don't get out of my neighborhood much.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
If you're not from round here, monsieur, you should sign up for some tours.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
If you're not from round here, monsieur...
Okay, das hatten wir schon. Schlangen.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes.
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
Oh, weiß ich nicht.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I've already told you everything I know.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
Du hast einen Laden über Voodoo und kannst nicht sagen, was in der bedeutendsten Nacht für Voodoo passiert?
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
I've said all I'm going to say about it.
Das Cabret Sancour.
What did you mean when you said Cabri sans corps?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Hast du.
What did you mean when you said Cabri sans corps?
I didn't say that.
You did.
You heard.
Okay, Schattenjäger wirst du mir auch nichts sagen können, ja?
Schattenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
Sonst?
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this kind of business?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
Okay, fair enough.
What do you know about the Voodoo murders?
Monsieur, that
Ja, das hatten wir schon, okay. Was kann ich denn sonst noch mit dem machen?
This is the
Kann er damit was an... Ich wollte das eigentlich in die Hand nehmen. Das...
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar at all, sir.
Kennst du dich vielleicht mit Schlangen?
Do you know anything about snake scales?
I got some snake root and snake powder, but I order 'em wholesale. I don't handle snakes. I don't like 'em at all.
Mhm. Mhm. Ja.
Look at the voodoo paraphernalia around the body in the photograph. Are you sure you can't tell me anything about it?
No, I don't know anything about it. Nothing.
Warum glaube ich dir denn nicht?
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
Whatever, man.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Monsieur, that has nothing to do with my shop.
Also der ist auf jeden Fall verdächtig. Ah, die Zeichnungen, das wird wohl nichts bringen.
Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
Nee.
This is the first page of inventory.
Mhm. Okay, das hat wohl keinen Sinn hier. Voodoo Museum. Vielleicht finde ich da ja was.
Hi. Look around all you want.
Okay, thanks. Reminds me of a book critic for the New York Times. He's got more hair than Mosley.
A street drummer has settled outside the museum. On the table is a small coffin. So small, in fact, that it would only fit an infant.
Charming.
Ja, mach mal auf, guck mal, was drin ist.
This coffin is so small. Interesting.
Cute, isn't it?
Adorable. Do you know anything about it?
Afraid not.
Skelett?
Damn. I've always wanted a skeleton with a bowl on its head.
A wooden doll with horns is on the back table.
Looks like Jack Nicholson.
The Historical Voodoo Museum is brimming with items authentic and original.
Ah, ja, ich scanne.
An official voodoo wish and stamp.
Wunschstumpf.
Rub it and make a wish, a card say.
Funny, I say the same thing to women. I wish Malia Getty was permanently grafted to my thighs.
Oh je, oh je, oh je, Gabriel, bitte. Doch nicht so.
A striking portrait of a turbaned woman is on the back wall. Gabriel wonders who she might be. Something about the shape of that knife gives Gabriel the creeps. A very large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
Schon wieder eine Schlange. Verdächtig. Sehr verdächtig.
It's a basket for donation to the Free Museum. It's a basket. A counter at the back displays brochures and a donation basket.
Kann ich ein paar Broschüren
That
mitnehmen?
doesn't seem to be removable.
Die Broschüren?
Gabriel cannot see.
Okay. Ja, dann reden wir mal mit ihr.
Could I ask you a few questions?
I wouldn't be much help. You should talk to Dr. John, the owner. He'll be back tomorrow.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, na gut. Da, komme ich hier hin? Nein, okay. Nee, dann ist hier auch nichts.
I'll be gone
Vermutlich.
now, thanks.
So long.
Wen haben wir denn da noch? Erster Friedhof von St. Louis. Ach, denn sowas. Okay.
The marks are reddish in color and reminds Gabriel of crosses. They look like they've been here a few days at least.
Kann ich mir die abmalen? Ah,
I want a copy of these strange marks.
warum auch immer?
Near the Laveau tomb is a piece of red brick. Undoubtedly a cast-off from spiritual graffiti writers.
Kann ich das mitnehmen? Gut. Aber warte mal, bleib doch noch hier. Ich wollte eigentlich mit dir reden.
Food, trinkets, and more unsettling things have been left at Marie Laveau's tomb as offerings from believers.
Huh?
Vases seem to be a favorite decoration for the dead.
Kann ich mir denn ein paar von den Flaschen
No,
mitnehmen?
thanks.
Ah, okay, dann nicht. Was ist das?
St. Louis Cemetery.
Nichts, okay.
Food, trinkets, and more.
Hatten wir schon. Kann ich
The
hier einfach
tomb
irgendwo
is
rein?
secure.
Ja, das wäre auch seltsam gewesen. Was haben wir denn hier?
A stone angel stands silently before a tomb.
Lange.
A marble snake. Now that's cheerful.
This old tomb is in a sorry state of disrepair.
There's probably no one left in the family to maintain it.
Also wenn, dann würde ich ja die Schlange mal ein bisschen näher untersuchen wollen. Ah, da ist er ja wieder. Komm mal her, du. Nicht wieder weglaufen.
Excuse me, sir.
What you need, boy?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Was weißt du
What
denn
can
über
you tell
Voodoo?
me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
Ja,
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I don't really care to talk about it. I don't do it none myself.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I don't really care to talk about it. I don't.
okay, das hatten wir schon.
What do you know?
Voodoo-Morde.
About the voodoo murders?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody's trying to cover their tracks is all.
Wie kommst du da drauf?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I told you all I know about that.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Seem like everybody want to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives, and they love the cemetery tour. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
Das ist schon ziemlich seltsam, aber gut. Ich meine, wenn man einen schönen, also New Orleans hat ja sehr schöne Friedhöfe, da kann ich das schon verstehen, aber naja, eine Touristenreise auf den Friedhof,
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
There's lots of things to see here, but none are as beautiful as the St. Louis Cemetery #1.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Hey, if you want to know more, you should ask somebody else.
Okay. Oh, Schlangen?
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
Ja.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I don't mind snakes myself, but lots of folks are afraid of them.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I don't mind snakes myself, but lots of folks are afraid of them.
Okay.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Why, St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo. Sometimes we get some weird goings-on in that cemetery on that night. More often a few nights before. People taking grave dirt, bones, and more.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yep. Don't know what they do with them, but it can't be pretty.
Das ist schon mies.
What else can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I told you all I know about that.
Gut, was kennst du das
Do you
vielleicht?
have any idea what Caprice Saint Coeur means?
No, can't say that I do.
Merkwürdig.
Do you have any idea what Caprice Saint Coeur means?
No, can't say that I do.
Na gut.
Have you
Schattenjäger
ever
wird
heard
mir
the
auch nicht
word
weiterhelfen können.
Schattenjäger?
I don't know what you talking about.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here at St. Louis #1.
What exactly do you do here?
Oh, I keep the place tidy, cause, but a big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers, you know. People come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound, they don't know what they doing.
Gut, jetzt hast du schon einen ziemlich französisch klingenden Namen und du kannst mir mit dieser Übersetzung nicht helfen. Das ist verdächtig.
Tell me about yourself.
That's about all there is to say.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery #1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins would float right out of their graves. Them dead would go floating right down into the water. Course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice.
Das ist ja auch interessant, das wusste ich gar nicht. Also das mit dem Wasserstand in St. Louis.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery #1.
It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War and back further, too. Take a look around, you'll see.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery #1.
Just look around. You get the feel of the place.
Okay, vielen Dank. Was ist da mit
The
deinem
old man
Körbchen?
is apparently doing some cleanup work.
Na gut. Ist das hier nichts?
The marker reads, Mirror Planter Right.
These are Grand's folks. I never knew them.
Vases seem to be a favorite decoration for the dead.
Ja, das stimmt allerdings. Das ist, also, ich dachte gerade. Ja, warum eigentlich? Warum Vasen für Tote? Wegen Urnen oder woran liegt's? Hier ist kein Ausgang mehr. Da ist ein Ausgang. Hier ist nichts. Hier ist auch nichts. Da ist noch ein Ausgang. Ach, Gede. Das ist doch hier von ne?
This old
der einen hier.
tomb has a sword carved into the stone below the name of the deceased.
Die eben bei der, bei dem Tatort war.
The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Gede.
Oder irre ich mich da jetzt? Ich meine, die hieß doch auch Gede.
The plate is locked in position. There's a keyhole on the plate,
Ah,
but
okay.
Gabriel can't operate that without a key. An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb.
Mhm. Ja. Mehr ist hier nicht. Kein weiterer Ausgang. Okay, hier geht's auch nicht weiter nach oben. Da gar nicht runter. Dann kann ich vielleicht am Anfang nochmal nach links, aber ich glaube, das ist der Ausgang. Oder? Ausgang? Ja. Okay. Na gut, wo waren wir denn jetzt noch nicht? Am Napoleonshaus. Und ansonsten, wir müssten eigentlich nochmal zum Polizeipräsidium mit Mosley sprechen. Hat er gesagt, er ist am Polizeipräsidium. Ja, das wäre vielleicht gar nicht so verkehrt. Tschüss. Auf zum Polizeipräsidium.